it has to happen anyway. So we put that $30 million into the budget as one of the contingencies. If the budget falls up to $30 million short, anytime during the year, bang, sell the property, there's the $30 million, the budget remains in balance. So that having been said, there are challenges for 2012. We're holding a hearing tomorrow to get real numbers on how much those union contracts are going to cost the county next year, and then we're going to embark, we're going to pivot off of those numbers, and we're going to develop a plan to cut spending. The spending will have to be cut. If the unions don't step up and voluntarily open up their contracts, and that's strictly within the purview of the county executive, the legislature is going to embark on a program of cutting spending. We're doing cooperation with the county executive. Spending will be cut. If the alternatives that we have is to either raise taxes or cut spending, spending is going to be cut. And I'm going to tell you, there's going to be some drastic things if it goes down that road. If the unions refuse to cooperate, there's going to be some drastic things that are going to be put up onto the table and have to be done, because we are not raising taxes in the county, period, amen. Now, NIFA, one comment on a little background history, and the county executive alluded to it on NIFA. You know, we have a chairman of that NIFA board who's managing partner in Wells Fargo Bank. When he was just appointed to the NIFA board, he was involved with Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers was in the process of collapsing around them, and he and 1,500 other financial people were going to be out in the street. And Tom Swazi's budget director, Tom Stokes, put $82 million of county money in Wells Fargo's bank. Wells Fargo the next week turned around and hired this guy, Stack, to be one of their managing partners. Tom Stokes, Tom Swazi's budget director, now sits on the NIFA board. He created all of these budgets that we inherited when we came into office with this $143 million that the county executive talked about, and all of these long-term labor deals and all the other problems that he and we have been wrestling with through all of 2010. This guy, Tom Stokes, was Swazi's guy, and he created those budgets. He testified in front of the legislature, because a great daily Rag Newsday takes great delight in pointing out that Mangano and Schmitt voted for creation of NIFA. Sure we did. $100 million state aid, an oversight, or a board that would help keep everybody on the straight and narrow as far as good fiscal practices, and they did. Now this board has morphed into this. We have a guy on there who's a managing partner of Wells Fargo. When the Wells Fargo Bank prospers, he prospers. We have no idea if he owns stock. We have no idea if he's getting bonuses. We have no idea what they're doing with the county's money. He's put us in variable rate debt, almost $600 million in variable rate debt. Every economist on the horizon agrees that higher interest rates and hyperinflation is going to come next year or the year after. They refuse to move out of that variable rate debt. When we ask them what it's costing us, they will not tell us. They go out and hire a white shoe law firm that former Judith Kay, former Supreme Court Court of Appeals judge in the state of New York, is a partner of. They won't tell us what they get an hour. I'm hearing that it's $900 an hour. They hire Grant Thornton, an accounting firm, to come in here and try and sabotage us. They will not disclose what they are paying them. We have the NIFA directors who will not disclose their financial backgrounds. Mine, every policy director in the county files a financial disclosure form with the county Board of Ethics, and it's there to be inspected by anybody, any outside employment. Who is it? What are your holdings as far as, do you hold stock in this one? Do you work for that one? Do you get a bonus from this one, or whatever the situation is? Not them. Accountable to nobody. They won't file those forms. They won't answer any questions. Not any questions of us, they won't answer any questions of the press. What are you doing? Where are you going? How much is this costing? We don't have to answer you. That's what they told the New York Post just this past week. We don't have to answer you. So this is what we're up against with these people. We know what they want. They want a property tax increase. They say they cannot pass a property tax increase, and they cannot. But what they can do, if you have all of the options on the table like we have with this 2011 budget, and they say you can't count the sale of land, you can't count that contingency, you can't do that, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and they sweep all of that away, what's left? A property tax increase. And they want to put us in the position where that's the only thing that's left, and they got a thing coming, because I will not pass a property tax increase through. I know he won't recommend one, and I will not pass one through the county legislature. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen this year to adjust the 2011 budget, and it's not gonna be in the 2012 budget. And I might give you my next message from the correctional center. I don't care what they say, what they do. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. You know what, and I'll tell you what, I'm very sorry to see this lawsuit. I support it 100%, but I'm very sorry to see this kind of fighting going on between NIFA and the NIFA and the county, because it's unnecessary. And it would be very nice if we could work together. It'd be nice if NIFA would supply some help with the state of New York to get the $100 million that they owe Nassau County in reimbursements that's hanging out there that we haven't received yet. It would go a long way towards helping our budget. It would be nice if they assisted us in getting some of the approvals we need to bring some of these budget-saving methods to the county and to apply them. It would have been nice if they had weighed in on the county executive side and urged the labor unions to come to the table and open up the contracts and save money. They did none of that. They did none of that. They issued no warnings when the previous county executive entered into these labor contracts. Tom Stokes, who was Swazi's budget director, testified in front of the legislature when they wanted to extend these contracts that the money was there. The money was in the budget to pay these in the future years going out. It's just not true. It wasn't true, but well, we were told that's what the testimony was. So, based on the evidence in front of us, everybody voted to extend the contract. So now they've hijacked us in that respect, and if they don't step up and voluntarily open up their contracts, well, we're going to find out what it's going to cost us next year, and then you stay tuned, because after tomorrow we will pivot off from there. From tonight, you should take away, my message to you is to take away three things. Number one, there's not going to be a property tax in this county on our watch. Number two, elections matter. That's why we fight this lawsuit. Elections matter. We came and we said, if you elect us, we will not raise taxes, we will repeal the energy tax, we will do all of the things that the county executive has just finished telling you that have been done. And they don't like it. They want to see, they're all Wall Street people, they're all involved in their financial houses. You're not sure, you're not allowed to know which ones. But they're all involved in one way or another, and they're very comfortable in whatever businesses that they've floated out, and the Good Old Boy Network or whatever it might be. I don't know what the conflicts are, if any. But they want to see, when they say recurring revenue, when you read in the newspaper recurring revenue, hold on to your pocketbook. A recurring revenue is a tax increase. That's what comes in each and every year, is taxes. So if you raise the tax, you have a recurring revenue. If you don't raise the tax, you don't have a recurring revenue. It's just that simple. So when these guys talk about a recurring revenue, they're talking about a tax increase. They would like to see the home energy tax back. They've made it clear, not going to happen. So elections matter. We're elected. We were elected by the people, and if we don't like what we're doing, and when the time comes, which for me will be this November, throw me out if you don't like it. The report card, that's the report card. If you don't like the direction that I'm taking the legislature in as far as no tax increase, then you vote. You act accordingly. If they don't like if the people don't like what Ed Mangano was doing as county executive, then you vote. When the time comes to vote for county executive, these guys are not elected. They never disclosed their plans to the public. They never came to you and said what they would do if they were running Nassau County. And poof, bang, all of a sudden they try to morph themselves into an illegal board to have policy-making influence in this county without disclosing what their backgrounds are, without talking about where their authority comes from, without talking about what their plans are or what they would like to see happen. And we're not going to tolerate it. There's not, I'm just going to say the same thing over and over again from here till whenever. There's not going to be a tax increase, period. And that's the message that we have.